presume. And then same as usual, working at your own pace, having a little rest if you need the rest, joining in again with you if you're ready to do so. Trying to find a comfortable position. So lying down on the back if you're down on the mat, sitting up as straight as lifted as possible if you're seated on a chair, and then see if you can just notice the body, allowing the arms to relax down the side. If you're lying down on the back, playing with the position of the arms. If I turn my palm down, it internally rotate the arm, so it tends to close the shoulder. If I turn my palm up, it externally rotate the arms and then encourages that opening through the shoulder. So see if I can find the position that works for the shoulders, allowing the chest to relax too. Legs are doing the same if possible, letting the feet flop out, the hips and knees, the thighs, nice and relaxed. Keeping the knees bent if that feels more comfortable. Again, finding a good position for the legs to be sitting on too. And then once that you're happy that the body's settled into position, see if you can start noticing the breath. What I want is to bring the breath down into the diaphragm, so encouraging the diaphragm to expand and relax with the breath, encouraging the body to relax with that breath. So noticing any tension through the neck, any tension through the jaw, across the top of the chest, to see if I can try and relax it through. So sending the breath down into the belly, feeling the belly expanding on the inhale, and then relaxing on the exhale. As you feel the body's a little bit more relaxed, the body feels a little bit calmer, then we're going to start to focusing on the neck. I'm going to start turning the head gently from one over to the other side. From one over to the other side. Noticing any restriction through, might find that the same as usual, turning the head one way, feels quite stiff. The other side feels a lot easier, a lot better. Noticing how far you can turn to the right, how far you can turn to the left. And then as the movement starts getting a little bit easier, a little bit more even, both right and left side, I'm going to add on. So the next one, I'm going to turn to look over the right shoulder, and then tucking the chin down towards the shoulder. I'm going to try and encourage a little stretch down the back of the neck. Then easing back, turning the head to look over the left shoulder, tucking the chin in. See if I can drop the chin or drop the nose down towards the shoulder, easing back and then returning back to the middle. Each time, so see if you can find that gentle stretch that runs around the back of the neck, moving down into the back of the shoulder. Same as before, making sure that I can feel the stretch, I can feel that gentle pull, but it's not pain. So nothing seems to be catching, nothing is radiating down the arm, there's no tingling into the fingertips, so there is no nerve compression at the neck level. So turning the head, tucking the chin, easing back, turning the head the other way, tucking the chin, and then releasing back. So I feel the neck is a little bit easier, feels a little bit looser. I'm going to reverse the option. So knees down, instead of turning and tucking in, I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to try and look up, as if I was trying to look somewhere at the room behind me. Then I'm going to ease back, turning the head to look the other way, and then trying to look behind a little bit more, and then coming back. So these times, if you can get a little rotation with a slight extension, the stretch or the traction should be more around the front of the neck. So see if I can try and find the position of the head that, again, is not giving me pain, but I can feel it gently pulling down the front into the side of the neck. Then easing back, turning the head, looking up and behind the other way, and then easing back. One more time on each side. Last one. and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the neck. It's a little bit more movement. I'm going to change the direction of the stretch just slightly. So this time I'm going to bring right ear down to the right shoulder, left ear down to that left shoulder. So I'm going to tip the head down one way, come back, tip the head down the other, come back, down one side, and then down the other. So these times, if you can, keep the stretch right onto the very side of the neck. So almost feeling it dropping down to the top of the shoulder. So the tip of the nose is always pointing forward. So if I'm lying down, it'll be pointing to the ceiling ahead of me. If I'm sitting up, it'll be pointing to the wall in front of me. So I'm not turning the head. I'm just moving it from one over to the other side. And then same as you did for the rotation, now that the lateral flexion feels a little bit easier, if I feel that I can progress it slightly, then I'm going to add a little bit more traction. So as the right ear moves down to the right shoulder with my left arm, I'm going to reach down and along the side of the body. See if I can create a gentle stretch that from the side of the neck goes over the top of the shoulder down into the arm. Then I'm going to release, bring that left ear to the left shoulder, and then with the right arm, I'm going to reach long down the side of the body, see if I can get the stretch going down the other way. Easing back, and then swapping side. Ear to the shoulder, and then opposite arm pulling down to create a little traction. Coming back, ear to the shoulder, opposite arm, reaching away. Coming back, last time, I'm going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder, reaching down and away with the left arm. If you feel that you can do a little bit more with the right hand, I'm going to reach around to the side of the head, and then I'm just going to pull down gently, see if I can create a little bit more stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back, left ear to the left shoulder, reaching down with the right arm, and then again, if I can, with the left hand around to the side of the head, I'm going to pull down gently, see if I can create a little bit more stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Returning the head back to the middle, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, the neck a little bit of a roll. I'm going to change the direction of the stretch one last time. This time I'm trying to work it in flexion. So taking the chin to the chest, if you're lying down on the mat and putting the hands around the back of the head, I'm going to support the head, lifting the head off the ground. See if you can imagine your head is standing nice and upright on top of the chest. If I'm sitting up, I can use the hands at the back of the head gently, and I can just use the weight of the head on its own. Either way, see if you can create a gentle stretch that starts from the base of the skull, comes down the back of the neck, or almost, in some cases, even between the shoulder blades into the middle of the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the neck. It's a little bit more movement into the cervical spine. I'm going to start working through the thoracic and the upper back and the shoulder girdle too. So first thing is starting with a little extension. I'm going to raise the both arms up to the front, and then as the arms reach behind, sending the breastbone, sending the chest up and towards the ceiling. See if you can really lift the rib cage up. Then I'm going to ease my way back, and then I'm going to try again. I'm going to raise and extend, and then come back. So think of a nice opening all the way down along the breastbone. So from the bottom of the breastbone, lifting up to the top of the breastbone, almost reaching into the throat too. So if I feel comfortable enough, I might start tipping the head back and see if I can try and look at the wall behind. See if I can take a little bit more stretch through the front of the throat, the front of the neck. So exaggerating the movement as much as I can. Think of a nice opening. 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. It's a little bit more movement. I'm going to change the effort from extension. I'm going to go into rotation. So bringing the arms to the front, clasping the hands together or keeping the hands apart. I'm going to start to rotate into the right. So taking the arms over to the right. See if I can encourage a nice gentle stretch going around to the back of that right shoulder, around the back of that left shoulder, coming back and then swinging the arms the other way. See if I can encourage the stretch going around at the back of the shoulder on the arm that is reaching across the front. Coming back and then rotating to the other side. So see if I can get that nice gentle rocking from side to side. If you're lying down, feeling the shoulders moving from one side over to the other, the hips are nice and still. If I'm seated, I can even drop the arms down just to see if I can try and encourage the body to rotate without having to worry about carrying the load of the arms. And then picturing the spine like a solid pole. Instead of trying to twist the pole out of shape, see if I can just try to rotate it and keep it shape. So see if you can think of that nice straight line, just to turn it into one side to rotate one way, and then turn it to the other side to rotate the other. 4, 3, every once in a while, check that the shoulders are still down. 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. It's a little bit more movement again, from rotation going into little lateral flexion. So if you're lying down on the back, supporting the head with one hand if you want to. I'm just going to pop my left hand behind the head, and then with the right arm, I'm going to reach down the side as if I was trying to touch my foot. If I'm seated, imagine to be touching the floor next to you. Then I'm going to ease back, I'm going to switch the arm over, and then I'm going to flex the other way. So these times, see if I can be aware of the movement happening sideways. So instead of twisting, instead of rotating, I'm just flexing one way and then flexing to the other side. So if you're lying down on the back, you've got the floor to guide you. The shoulders should be on the floor. The body's just moving side to side. The head is coming with you. If I'm seated up, imagine to be sitting against the wall. So see if I can try and maintain both of the shoulders on the wall as I'm moving from side to side. So see if I can avoid any forward flexion, any twist, any rotation. See if I can try and get into that lateral flexion. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. It's just a little bit more movement at the top. I'm going to try and see if I can focus onto the base of the spine, at the bottom of the spine. So starting off with a little pelvic tilt. As I'm lying down on the back, I'm just going to tilt the pelvis back and see if I can press the lower back gently into the mat, and then rocking forward to see if I can lift it away. So tilting back, pressing the lower back down into the mat, and then forward and then lifting away. If I'm seated, imagine to be rolling back onto your tailbone, so to be slouching, and then trying to pick yourself up, or trying to sit right onto the very tip of the seat bones. So I'm going to slouch again, and then see if I can pick myself up again. So keeping that gentle rocking, see if I can try and loosen up any stiffness from the base of the spine, from the bottom of the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, last time. And releasing back, releasing through the back. With a little bit more movement down into that lumbar spine. I'm going to start moving down into the legs. So if I'm seated, I'm still going to work a single leg. If I'm standing, I'm still focusing on one leg at a time. So I'm going to keep my left leg bent or straight, whatever feels more comfortable. And then focusing just on the right leg. I'm going to try and gradually lift that right foot off the ground. So see if I can encourage the little hip flexion. Then I'm going to pop the leg back down, and then I'm going to try and lift it again. It's the same as usual. It doesn't matter if the leg doesn't lift, if the foot doesn't lift away from the ground. See if I can try and find that connection into the front of the hip, into the front of the belly, that is allowing the muscle to twitch, to connect, to switch on. If you're seated up, it's easy, or even if you're lying down, you can use the band around the back of the leg if you need to offer a little support. So I can pull with the arm to control the leg up, and then I can ease the leg back down again. So closing the hip, and then open it back. Closing it up, and then open it back. 2 more times. Lifting, and lowering, lifting, and lowering down, allowing the leg to have a little rest, extending the leg away if you want, if possible, if you can. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the left side. So bending the left knee, bring the left leg up and towards you if you're lying down. And then same as I did on the right, to see if I can find that connection into that left hip. So rolling up onto the ball of the foot to see if I can get the foot to pull away from the ground. And then I'm just going to ease back down. Then again, I'm going to try and pull it away. And then control it back. And then noticing the difference. On this side, I can lift that leg easy, no problem. On this side, it feels a lot heavier. On this side, it's very temperamental, seems to be doing whatever it wants to do. Same as on the other side. If I need a little support, I'm just going to put the band of the strap around the back of the leg, or the hands around the leg, and then I'm just going to offer a little support for the up and down movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. There's a little bit more connection to the front of the hip. I'm going to try and see if I can change the direction of the movement to see if I can start to move in sideways. So bending the right knee again, bringing the right leg up and towards you. If you're lying down, I'm going to start going into a little knee drop. So opening the right knee out to the right, as far to the right as you feel comfortable, as far to the right as you feel that the hips are still holding level. And then I'm going to squeeze the leg back. Then again, opening out to the right. And then squeezing it back to center. If you're lying down, gravity is working against you, as gravity is pulling you down, so it's pulling the leg, is helping you to let the leg open, and then you will have to work against the gravity to lift it back up again. If I'm seated up, there is no gravity as the movement is happening sideways. But I can still try to use the arm to challenge a little bit more. So as the leg opens out, I'm just going to offer with the hand a little resistance. As the leg squeezes back in, I'm going to offer a little resistance. It's as if I was pushing out to open, and then squeezing into close. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the left side. So allowing the left knee to bend, and then when you're ready, start opening the leg out to the left, and then closing it back to center. Same as I did on the other side, especially if I'm sitting up, I might use the hand to offer that little resistance. I'm going to push against the hand on the way out, and then I'm going to push against the hand on the way back in again. If I feel that the hip is very stiff, so I can't move it very well, then I can use the hand to help me open in a little bit more, and then help me come back. So in that case, I'll just use the hand to help me encourage a bigger range of movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the hips and releasing the inner thigh, relaxing the groin. So there's a little bit more connection between the side, the inside and the side of the leg. I'm going to try and see if I can find a good connection into the back of the leg this time. So keeping both knees bent if you're lying down on the back. I'm just going to start focusing on one foot at a time. I'm going to try and push hard down on my right foot, pushing as hard as I can, as if I was trying to get the foot through the floor. Release, and then pushing down with the left. Then release, pushing down with the right. Release, pushing down with the left. Release, pushing down with the right. Pushing down with the left. So see if you can find that connection between the right and the left leg. I might not be able to feel the foot very much. See if you can be aware of a little tension going down the back of the leg. So from the hip through the hamstring into the calf. And then same thing to the other side. So I can feel the back of the leg tensing. I can feel it reacting. I can feel it doing a little something. If I feel that the movement starts getting a little bit easier, starts feeling a little bit more connected, then I'm going to start pushing with both feet at the same time and release. Pushing with both feet at the same time and release. And then maintaining that pressure going on and off, we're going to start driving it up a little bit higher. So if you can, I'm going to push down through the feet and then start lifting the hips. So if you're lying down, think of the hips lifting up and towards the ceiling. If I'm sitting up, imagine to be pushing down through the legs to help you lift off the chair and then come back. So same as usual, grabbing hold onto something in front of you, using the side of the chair if you need to, using the thighs if I need to. I'm just going to lean forward and then push it through. See if I can create a tiny little lift. If you're lying down on the back, you can go as high up as you want. As far as the weight stays on your shoulders, it doesn't go into your neck. So you're not arching backwards. So there's no pressure into the cervical spine. So squeeze in with the back of the leg, squeeze in with the back of the bum. See if I can create that lift, or at least see if I can prepare towards the lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. There's a little bit more connection all the way through the hip. What I want is just a little bit more into the side of the hip or side of the bum. So if you're lying down, I want you to roll over onto your side, setting yourself into side line. If you're sitting up and trying to walk the feet nice and close together, see if you can get the feet and the knees to touch. So if I'm lying down, I'm going to do the same. The knees are bent, one leg is on top of the other, the head is supported. Now focusing on your top leg. If you're sitting up, deciding which leg you're going to be starting with, your right or your left. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to start opening up into climb. So I'm going to externally rotate to see if I can get the knees to pull away from each other, but keeping the feet together, or close enough to stay together. If I'm seated up, what I want is a little resistance. So I want to feel the side of the bum having to work to pull the leg out. So with the opposite hand, I'm going to hook on the leg or hold that leg. And then with that leg, I'm just going to try and push against the hand. Then I'm going to relax. Then again, I'm going to push out against the hand or relax. You can also use the same side. It's whatever it's easier. So I'm going to push out and then control back. Push out and control back. So see if I can think of that gentle tension coming from the side of the hip to the side of the bum. The leg will start getting heavy. It might not lift very much. I'm going to try 3 more times. Opening the knees, closing them back. 2, opening the knees, closing them back. Last one, open and close, releasing back. Relaxing the hips and releasing the leg. Allowing the knee to slip forward if you're lying down on the side, allowing the hip a little rest. We're going to give the hip a little stretch. So rolling over onto your back. The leg that you've just been lifting, you're going to bring it into the chest. And then supporting it with the hands, and just applying with the leg, see if you can find a good position of the leg into the hip socket. Once you feel that the leg is set, then with the opposite hand to the leg, I'm going to pull the leg across. See if I can create a little stretch. If you're seated, if you can, I'm going to cross one over the other and then pull through. If I find that the leg is too heavy to lift, I can't get it over, then I'm just going to push both legs to the side and then trying to do my best to get a little stretch coming down the side of the hip into the side of the leg. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, to see if you can go a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Releasing the hip, releasing the leg. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, rolling over onto the other side, facing the other way, setting the same position. The knees are bent, the legs are together. Using the arm to support the head or pillow block under the head to support it through. And then same as before, I'm just going to squeeze the heels of the feet together and then opening the knees as far apart as I can. Then I'm going to close them back, and then again, keeping the heels of the feet together, opening the knees as far apart as I can, and then easing back. So again, see if I can find that tension into the side of the hip, into the side of the bum, using the opposite hand or hand the same side to offer a little resistance. If I'm sitting up, see if I can really find the side of the hip, see if I can make it work a little bit harder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last time, and releasing back, letting the knees flip forward, giving the hip a little tap, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to stretch that side. So when you're ready, rolling over onto your back, the leg that you've just been lifting, again, I'm going to bring it towards me, hugging it into the chest to see if I can play with the position of the leg, finding a good position, so nothing is pinching or catching in the hip, in the groin. Then once that I feel that the leg is set, then with the opposite hand, I'm going to gently pull the leg across to see if I can create that stretch down the other way. So same as before, if I'm seated, crossing one leg over the other, I'm pulling it across, or just pushing both legs out of the way, see if I can get a little stretch that way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. It's a little bit more activation to the side too. I'm going to try and see if I can get full body, full range through the hip joint. So if you're lying down on the back, lifting the right leg up, using the strap behind the leg if you need that support, or using the hands to support it if that's easy enough. If I'm seated, again, I could use the hands, I could use the strap. I'm going to start circling the leg. So imagine that usual pencil strap to the tip of the knee. I'm going to start drawing circles with the pencil in front of me, starting with a small movement, and then progressively see if you can go for a bigger movement. So see if you can think of that lifting and lowering, that left and right, that cross the body one way, cross the body the other. So see if I can try and get the leg to move into the hip socket as much as you can, making sure that the movement is not creating grinding, pinching or catching. So nice and loose and nice and soft. 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circle, going around the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the leg. I'm going to allow the upper body to have a little rest. So making sure that I've not stiffened up into the shoulders, into the neck. See if I can try and create a little movement through the arms. So one arm at a time, I'm going to start raising the right arm up to the front, reaching it behind. And then as the right comes back, I'm going to reach the left. And then as the left comes back, I'm going to reach the right. So see if I can try and create a nice, soft movement without forcing, especially sitting up. As I lift up, I'm working against gravity, so the arm is a lot heavier than if I were lying down. So keeping the movement small, but see if I can keep it easy, see if I can keep it relaxed into the shoulders and into the neck. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Allowing the arms to come back by the side, and then I'm going to try and work on that left hip now. So using the band around the back of the leg, using the hands to support the leg if you need to. Again, picture that little pencil strap to the tip of the knee. See if I can start drawing circles with that pencil in front of me. So starting small, progressively see if I can make that circle bigger. Just playing with the size of the movement to see if I can find a good range, but nothing that is creating grinding or pain in the hip joint. So if you can think of lubricating, so the more I move it, the more synovial fluid, the more the joint is going to be greased and oiled, is going to move a little bit easier, a little bit better. 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circles, going the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, releasing the hip, relaxing the leg, same as before, making sure that if I was using the arm, the shoulder is not suddenly stiffening up again, the neck is not tense, and this time I'm going to go for a little lateral raise. So opening the right arm out to the side, I'm going to swing it around the side, come back to the middle, opening that left arm out to the side, swing around the side, and then come back. Same as you did for that front raise, just to see if you can create a nice, easy movement with the right, a nice, easy movement with the left. Nothing that is causing pain, nothing that's causing stiffness. So I'm trying to relax it through the shoulder, relax it through the neck. I don't want to create more tension, more stiffness there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the arms. There's a little bit more movement at the top. I'm going to change the position again. This time I'm going to try and see if I can get a little work down through the inner thigh, and then trying to get into the back as well. So rolling over onto your side if you're lying down, resetting that side lying position, but these times setting up for the opening and closing doors. So popping the pillow under their head to support their head, and then reaching both arms straight ahead. You're resting onto the back of the shoulder, so I'm not crushing the shoulder, I'm not compressing the joint. Then keeping the knees together, keeping the feet together, I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to start opening the door. So I'm going to try and open it as wide as I can, and then I'm going to close it back. If you're seated, exactly the same. Without raising the arm too high, as that will tend to load the shoulder, keeping the arm a little bit lower, I'm going to turn the arm, and then as if I was trying to pass a glass to a person behind me, I'm going to try and reach around, open up to the back, come back, and then see if I can try and pass the glass to the person behind me the other way around. So encouraging that nice rotation through, that opening across the front of the chest. It's the same as you did for the stretches. Think of a nicer space across. So I want the chest to open from shoulder to shoulder. I want that nicer feel of opening. The shoulder is stretching, the front of the chest is stretching, and then the back is moving. And then especially if you're lying down, start to noticing the knees. So can I keep the knees together, and then can I keep the knees on the floor? So making sure that I'm not turning the all of the body, I'm just turning the rib cage, the shoulders and the chest. If you're seated up, see if you can think of the chest staying high. So I want to sit tall and turn. Then come back, and then again, sit tall and turn. 4, 3, 2. Last one, I want you to hold it back. Try to spread the arms as wide as you can, really getting the stretch across the front of the chest. If you're sitting up, see if you can sit proud, that the chest is lifted, the chin is lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Giving the shoulder a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulder, releasing the back. If you're lying down on your side, if you can, I want you to roll onto your front. So belly down on the ground. If you find that you can't do that, then you roll onto your back again. So whichever position works better for you. If you're down on your front, we're going to be working in extension. If you're seated, we're going to be working in extension. So as I'm lying down, I'm just going to put the hand where I feel that I can use my arms at the most. And then reaching forward from the top of the head, I'm going to start extending through the upper back. Pushing through the arms, see if I can lift a little bit higher, see if I can lift a little bit more, as far as there is no pain in the back. Then I'm going to release, and then I'm going to try that again. If I'm seated up, see if you can do the same with the hands on top of the thighs. So I'm going to push against the legs and then really see if I can stick the chest forward, lifting it up, or see if I can think of the front of the body growing longer. And then I'm just going to let myself drop down and relax. And then again, I'm going to try and lift it up, make it longer, and then I'm just going to drop it down. 5, extending, and coming back. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. When you're ready, rolling over onto the other side, setting yourself into your side line for the opening and closing doors the other way. So same starting position, the legs are together, the head is resting on the pillow or on the floor. I'm going to keep the knees together. And then top arm, I'm going to open out and around. Let's see if I can open the door as wide as possible. And then I'm going to bring it back. If you're seated, try to encourage the same opening as before, but this time, see if you can think of a little bit more opening across the front of the chest. So can I try and reach behind my head, behind my ear, and then as I turn, can I really try to get a nice stretch across the front? Then come back, and then hand behind the ear the other way, and then I'm going to turn to the other side, and then coming back. So think of lifting and rotating, and then easing back. Lifting and rotating. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold it there. If you're sitting, let the arm drop, making sure that you're opening up the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. If you're lying down, stay on your side and just pushing yourself straight up. into sitting. Finding a comfortable position for the legs, using the arms for a little support by the side if I need to, making sure that I feel secure enough as I'm sitting in my seated position. Then as you feel that the hips are set, the legs are set, then start focusing on the back. What I want is to lift away from the ground. So I'm going to try and make myself along. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look back to see if I can encourage a nice pull down the front of the throat into the breastbone. Then I'm going to release, letting the chin drop down to the chest and the shoulders come forward. I'm going to let myself fall as far forward as I can. And then back up in reverse. I'm curling back up. Lifting through the breastbone, lifting through the chin, opening up the front of the throat. And then I'm going to release back, letting the chin drop down, the shoulders come forward, rolling down as far as you can. Last time. I'm curling all the way back up, extending up, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And releasing down. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take a bow. Give yourself a clap on that. Any question or anything as usual, please say. Remember, you need to unmute yourself